It almost hurts to watch. A police officer is taking a quick break, heading down a popular slide. Ouch! It's like he's shot out of a cannon. He hits the ground hard. It may look funny, but he had to be treated for a head injury and a banged-up leg.
It happened about an hour and a half south of Columbus. Officers tried to pull Jadarius Rose over for a missing rear mud flap. The 23-year-old refused, starting a chase. Rose at one point stopping. Get out of the truck! And as officers ordered him out of the rig at gunpoint, he took off again. 7 minutes later in the video, police able to slow him down using spike strips. As Rose gets out of the cab, his hands in the air surrendering, a highway patrolman spots Circleville police officer Ryan Speakman approaching with his canine, warning Speakman not to use the dog.
Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog.
As Rose gets on his knees, Officer Speakman commands the dog to attack.
Get the dog off of him! Get the dog!
One officer seen covering her face as they work to pry the dog off of Rose's arm.
Nobody's trying to hurt you.
Just let a dog bite me.
All you had to do was stop, brother.
I did stop.
Third grade teacher Kimberly Coates was arrested.
Did you drink something?
Last night.
Yeah. You gonna tell me the truth? How much you had to drink?
I drank last night.
You haven't had anything to drink today?
Not since 3 a.m.
We think that you drank today. Not 3 a.m. We think that you've drank since you've been at school.
Okay, I drank on the way to work.
Okay, no more games, right?
Yeah.
What is in that?
My juice.
That there is wine.
That's when Kimberly Coates was placed under arrest. Not the way you want to start the school year.
We also want to take a look at some Air 7 HD video to give you a look of what it looks like overhead and how large this crowd is overhead and what it looks like as, again, a few thousand protesters, many of them Catholics, are marching in response to the group, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, being included in tonight's Dodgers Pride Night.
So let's pray. So it's important to understand that this is a prayer and not a protest. We're basically praying for the so-called nuns.
This group of a few thousand demonstrators is being vocal tonight about their issues with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence and the group's inclusion in Dodgers Pride Night.
We should be tolerant of everybody. Likewise, they should be tolerant of our faith and our feelings.
Shirts and signs sprinkled in the crowd calling for a boycott of the Dodgers after the team invited the sisters to accept a Community Hero Award as part of tonight's festivities.
She looks like your everyday regular Amazon delivery worker, leaving a package by the front door. But look closely. She's also taking a package. Yep, she's a porch pirate disguised as an Amazon driver. She's even wearing the blue Amazon delivery vest. Cops say she's dressed to steal.
Inside the home, a 14-year-old girl and her little sister. The stranger starts to leave, but to the youngster's terror, changes his mind. He turns back and this time opens the front door.
I was scared because I didn't know what was going on. I don't know what he's doing at my house.
For brave 9th grader Leah Kissinger, priority number 1 is saving her 4-year-old sister, who's seated at the table. She scoops her up and carries her off so they can hide in another room. Their golden doodle Loki keeps barking. After tense moments, the deputies finally disarm the man and take him into custody. 4-year-old Layton now calls her big sis her hero. Show me, how much do you love your big sister?
Do you love me a lot? Yeah.
The family is not pressing charges. Instead, they want their neighbor to get the help he needs. Now, after his winning ticket ended up in the wrong hands, he can finally collect a big jackpot.
This lucky lottery winner almost lost out on his $3 million jackpot. Paul Little bought Quick Pick tickets at this store in Massachusetts. But he accidentally left them behind when he completed his purchase, and prosecutors say the clerk kept them for herself.
This mom says she got the scare of her life when American Airlines allegedly kept her 2 unaccompanied kids in a room overnight with no food or water.
I was like, well, have you been fed? And they were like, no, Mom, no one's even given us any food or water.
She says she put her 10 and 12-year-old sons on an American Airlines flight from Missouri to Syracuse, New York, with a layover in Charlotte. Mom, Amber Vinsel, says she paid the airline $150 each to place her kids in the unaccompanied minors program. Then she got an email from the airline saying there was a problem at the layover in Charlotte. Their flight was canceled. they had to spend the night in the airport.
They take you to a room, and they were like, no, Mom. They just had us sitting on a sofa in a freezing cold room all night with the lights on.
This mom is under arrest, accused of orchestrating the execution-style murder of her ex-husband. Police body cam footage shows Shanna Gardner being escorted out of her $1 million home in Washington state in handcuffs. But she needs pants. You can hear her 12-year-old twins yelling from inside.
Where are your jeans, Mom?
As she's led to a police cruiser, she bids farewell to her twins.
Love you, honey.
Shanna Gardner's ex-husband, 33-year-old Microsoft executive Jared Brightigan, was gunned down in February 2022 in Jacksonville Beach, Florida.
A horrifying dog attack caught on camera in Texas. Shantae Wright Haywood pulling her 2-year-old son CJ from the jaws of a stray.
And I couldn't even process what was going on in the moment. I just knew I had to get him from under the dog.
The dog running at CJ as they were leaving their home before Shantae scoops him up and spins him away. The dog keeps lunging at the toddler, chasing the pair right up to the front door.
I just figured if I'm between them two, there's definitely a chance he can bite me, but he's not going to get a hold of my son.
Shantae able to shield CJ as the dog jumped up and snapped at him. Eventually able to hand him off to his sister waiting inside before escaping into the house herself. But the dog wouldn't let up, breaking the door off the hinges and pushing to get in.
It's coming back.
The kids are putting their body weight up against the door.